Alright, so in this tutorial, which is something I haven't done in a long time, I'm gonna show you how to put Windows 7 on this Lenovo laptop right here. I don't have the model number off the top of my head. It'll actually be in the title of the video below. But yeah, I'm gonna show you how to put Windows 7 on this particular Lenovo right here. So there are a few things you'll need before you do anything: a blank CD, which is what I got; a copy of Windows 7, which is also what I got; a wire or wireless mouse, which again is what I got right here. The reason why I need a wireless or wired or wireless mouse is because as of the recording of this video, there is no touchpad driver for this laptop when it comes to a Windows 7. So the touchpad will not work anymore. But in the end, you're getting a better experience overall. So I'm willing to put up with not having a trackpad. So there are also a few more things you gotta do before we actually get through with before we actually go and install Windows 7. And that is download two things and burn them to the blank DVD. So basically one part is the Ethernet driver, so you can actually have Ethernet, so you can actually download updates and whatnot and actually get all the other drivers for it. So you download this. Or you just hit the, I'll probably put a little link for this particular download right here, so you can just go directly to the Windows 7 version of this download. Just give it a couple seconds. Once that's done, then go to here, which is the basically this will give you USB 3 support for the two USB ports on the side here, because those ports don't work until you actually install this. So you need to scroll down to where the Windows 7 driver is and make sure you get the 64-bit version, wherever the hell it is. Here it is. You download this particular one right here. As of the recording, it's this one right here. So I'm going to hit download again, and I'm going to hit save. Though the trackpad on this thing is hot garbage, so again, I'm not too worried about losing the trackpad, because the trackpad on this thing is garbage. Alright, and both files are downloaded, so take the blank DVD or CD, I'm using a CD, and just burn the files. Hopefully I can remember to do some type of editing throughout this video to make it a little bit more shorter, but I don't know, I just want to kind of record the whole process. I mean, editing does make the video shorter, but for me, it feels like you're missing out on something. Okay. Uh, can't even fucking burn files to a damn DVD? No shit, they're the same. What the actual fuck? Burning these two fucking files to a stinking CD on my Windows 7 computer right here was a lot more simpler than this. I'm keeping this in this fucking video. I don't care if I'm not going to add any of this shit. I want to show how garbage Windows 10 is. I can't even burn a goddamn fucking CD properly. Because it goes full retard thinking the files are wrong. Can't even fucking burn two DVDs properly. I fucking right click and hit burn DVD that way. You can't do it through the little window for the little taskbar window manager thing because Windows is too fucking retarded. Fuck Windows 10. Really? Fuck this operating system. God, I gotta make sure these damn gotta make sure this damn CD is readable now because the damn OS can't spurn anything right. And like I say, you don't have USBs you don't have the USBs working until you can get the drivers for Windows 7 installed. So even if you want to do all this through flash drive, you couldn't do it through flash drive if you wanted to. Well, it looks like everything's there, and it looks like the disk is reading. So the next thing you gotta do is shut down the computer. But oh wait, instead of the computer shutting down like it should, it fucking restarts itself. This part of this video should have only been fucking 2 minutes max. Cause it should be relatively simple, but no. Fuck you, Windows 10. Now I'm actually going to stop here because I need to go back in there and convert the BIOS to what it was initially, so you can know what you need, so I can actually show you the proper settings you need to flip. So let me go and do that right now. Alright, so now we need to go into the BIOS of the computer. I believe the first time you go into the BIOS, what you need to do is you need to press FN and then F2 to get into BIOS, and I think you only need to do that once. Because I haven't had to do that ever since then to get into the BIOS. So for me, I'm just going to hit F2. But if this is your first time getting to the BIOS of the computer, just press FN and F2 together, and you should get into the BIOS. And then this is what you should be. This is what you should have. Most likely, you'll have a secure boot enabled. Go and disable that. Go and disable that. I don't know why it's disabled on my end because I did reload back to my defaults. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go support, legacy, or legacy support for this, legacy support for that. I'm going to leave all this the same. I'm going to leave that the same. I'm going to turn SATA to compatible. And let's see, is there anything else I need to change? I believe that's everything, so I'm going to hit Save Changes. I'm going to go back into the BIOS again. This time you should just need to be only have to press F2 to get in there. And let's see, just make sure everything is the way it needs to be. Yes, everything is now the way it needs to be. actually, hold on, let me see. Actually, disable fast boot. Yeah, that's the one thing I forgot to disable. Disable fast boot. That's why I went into the BIOS, because I had a feeling I missed something. I'm going to have to one more time. Alright, I believe everything is as it needs to be. So this is where it's going to get a little difficult. So I'm going to put the CD in that has Windows 7 on it. I'm going to exit. I'm going to exit, would be nice. And I'm going to press F11. This will bring up the boot select menu. Yeah, just keep doing this until it pops up. There it goes. And what you want to do is you'll want to select SATA ODD, which is basically the DVD drive. Hit that. Then hit any random key on the keyboard to get the boot into Windows 7. And the reason why I say it's going to get difficult is since we don't have USB or trackpad support in Windows 7, we can't use a wireless mouse. We have to use basically the keyboard to navigate through the Windows 7 setup. And I'm going to show you how to do that when this is done loading up, which shouldn't be too long. I'll probably put a little time skip somewhere, or a little skip on the at the very beginning of this video, so you can know to go to this certain section to actually know how to set the BIOS up and actually get Windows 7 working on this computer. Because that part shouldn't have taken 7 fucking minutes. Then again, this is Windows 10 we're talking about. A very garbage ass OS. And I've only done this like a few times, so I have to remember what exactly I had to do to get everything to work properly. So like I said, we need to now use keyboard commands to actually navigate. If my memory serves, tab is select, and space is enter. Space again. And then you use this to select whatever you want. Keyboard commands are confusing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Ultimate. I'm going to hit Enter. I'm going to hit Space. Then I'm going to tab to Next. Enter again. Tab to this. I'm going to go to that. Whoops, give me a second. I'm having to remember what I had to do. I'm going to hit this. Format. Yes. I'm going to hit that. Format. Or is it delete? There we go. Next. And I'm just going to leave it alone. Now this part I am going to cut out, and I'll come back when this is all completed. Alright, so if you just let the thing be for a little while and just let it do its thing, you'll eventually get to this. And of course we don't have, even though the little cursor may show up, we actually can't use it and the USB ports do not work yet. So name the laptop whatever you want. You more or less just hit enter for the most part. When it comes to the time, just change it when we actually get all the, when we get everything else all set up. So we're still going to have to use keyboard commands to basically navigate the computer until we can get the two drivers we put onto the DVD installed. And I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to pull that drive. So I'm going to pull the Windows 7 disk out. Going to take the DVD I just burned, or you just burned, put it into the DVD drive, and again we're going to use keyboard commands to navigate everything more or less. I really need to get a new chair because this one's noisier than sin. Alright, so we just use tabs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit enter, enter again, and use these to navigate. I'm going to navigate down to the setup. I'm going to hit enter. Since it's in a zip file, it's going to most likely come up with it. It's probably going to ask us to run it or whatever, which I'm going to hit yes on that. Enter again, yes. Was it Alt Tab? So yeah, if that pops up, just Alt Tab to the little shield mark, and then just select yes, and then hit enter. I didn't have that happen to me last time, so that's why I was a little confused. But just let it sit in, it will eventually install, even if it does take a little bit to finish. Alright, so that's now done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the CD, and I'm going to select the chipset driver. If someone that knows how to do a proper tutorial video sees this video and sees how sloppy mine is and has this exact same laptop, by all means do a tutorial better than mine. The only reason why I'm doing this is because there's like nothing out there on this thing, and it's nice to see that Windows 7 actually runs on this computer. Alright. So we got this. So I'm just going to do that. It's now selected. I'm going to hit enter, express, and I'm just going to leave it. That's all I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it alone. And there's USB. So of course I'm going to hit restart. Okay, so none doesn't want to work. Alright, and I'm just going to let the thing restart. You don't need to pull out the DVD drive or CD, but let's just see what happens first. Yeah, we don't need to remove it, but I'm just going to remove it since we don't need the CD anymore. And pretty much that's all you really need to do to get this computer up and running. Now, well, actually, no, there's like a few more things we gotta do. Now, since we got the USBs running now, all you can do is just take the wire or wireless mouse. Again, I got wireless, so I got a little dongle here. Plug it into one of the ports, let it install the drivers, and boom. I now have full control over my mouse. So now we just gotta hook this thing up to Ethernet. So give me a second. Alright, so I just gotta hook this thing up to Ethernet. Luckily I got a little Ethernet switch right there, so I'm just gonna take the spare cable I have plugged into one of the ports and plug it into the Ethernet port of the computer. And as you can tell, I now have Ethernet. So I'm just going to hit trust, or just going to hit home network, because, well, this is my home. Going to let this do its thing. And the next thing we're going to do is install Chrome. Like a real human. Or real man, or whatever the hell you call it. Because Firefox is for chumps. Make sure the actual web page I'm going to is actual Google itself. Go ahead and accept. Going to hit run. And then I'm going to do something that a lot of people fail to do on any computer. Change. Never. Hit OK. Yes. And yes. And that annoying ass pop-up will never come up again. I can't tell you how many times I see a tech YouTuber that has that window pop up all the time. And I'm like, cunt, you're a tech YouTuber. Disable that piece of shit. I mean, that's one of the fucking few things you gotta do when you get a damn Windows computer is disable that shit ASAP. The only reason why I didn't disable it prior is because I couldn't. It's really difficult to use a computer when you're just using keyboard commands. Also, fuck you, Mundane Matt. Done and done. So the next thing we gotta do is go to AMD and get the GPU drivers. Which again, I will actually link the proper one in the description below. Okay, so we got our chipset processor of graphics. It's an A series. It's a 6. And this is the GPU driver I use. So I'm gonna hit submit. I'm going to scroll down to Windows 64-bit. And I'm going to use this particular... Well, actually, hold on. Let's see. Which one do I want to use? I'm going to use this one right here. So I'm going to hit download. Come back when it's done. And of course, install the GPU drivers. And of course now we get this, so just hit that, wait for it to do its thing, try and readjust my camera so it looks a tad bit more professional. Still crap. And just sit back and let it do its thing. And of course, when you'll get to the screen here, for me, I hit this I hit install, even though I don't use it. I just have it installed because it's there. You can hit skip if you want, but for me, I just install it because I don't know. It's just I don't know. And of course it's going to ask to restart, so I'm going to hit restart. Also, I am using, I forgot to mention at the very beginning of this video that I'm actually installing this on an SSD. But yeah. And just like that, GPU drivers are in, resolution is proper, and pretty much the only thing you gotta do now to get this thing fully up and running is just do Windows 7 updates. And you do that for God only knows how long it takes for Windows 7 to do its updates, and you're pretty much good to go. You'll have Wi-Fi and everything. So I'm just going to do the initial because, relatively speaking, anyone can do this. I just want to add it in because this is a tutorial of how to get this computer up and running. Basically, what I suggest you do is you just do all the Windows 7 updates and get all the updates installed and once those are done, then go in and get this thing hooked up to Wi-Fi. Basically, doing this, you will get full Wi-Fi. You'll get all the Wi-Fi drivers and whatnot. Since I don't know exactly what Wi-Fi driver this thing uses, that's the only reason I don't know what I need to do. So that's why I only gave the LAN driver, because that's the one I do know that works. And of course, after waiting for a little while to get this, I would suggest basically just installing all these and just installing all of these. Now, since I decided to choose Windows Ultimate, I also have language packs that I can install. I'm not going to install those because these will take a long time. So I'm just going to hit OK, and I'm just going to install all the updates that are needed. But basically, that's pretty much the end of this video, because this is all you need to do to get this thing up and running now. So hopefully this video helped, and hopefully it wasn't too long and boring.